Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of DDoS attacks. In our last episode, we discussed past DDoS attack events. We'll continue to explore major incidents that have likely impacted many of you. In October 2016, a significant DDoS attack targeted Dyn, a DNS provider for high-traffic domains like Twitter, Netflix, and Reddit. To put it simply, Dyn played the role of an efficient translator. When a user typed in the Netflix URL in their browser, Dyn was responsible for translating that URL into an IP address that led the user straight to Netflix. This attack was very innovative. Instead of traditional computers, they leveraged the Internet of Things. Devices like digital cameras, network monitors, and printers that connect to the Internet. The hackers exploited vulnerabilities in these IoT devices and infected them with a malware called Mirai, turning them into a botnet. Devices controlled by the hackers, functioning like zombies. When the hackers launched the attack, they first sent a command to the controlled server, and then the server sent the command to the botnet. After receiving the command, the botnet sent DNS query requests to Dyn, and Dyn suddenly received requests from millions of IPs. Dyn estimated that the attack had involved 100,000 malicious endpoints, and the company said there had been reports of an extraordinary attack strength of 1.2 terabits. Now imagine you're just trying to catch up on your favorite Netflix show. Guess what? You can't. Another notable victim of DDoS attacks is GitHub. They were hit with a staggering 1.35 terabits per second of traffic all at once. This time, hackers exploited an open-source software called Memcached. Memcached is a system that temporarily stores data in memory to reduce the need for database access. But its default setting had a critical weakness. It was configured to listen for UDP data on port 11211. This meant that if a server was using the default setting, it would be receiving UDP data through this port. So, the hackers scanned the internet for devices using UDP port 11211 and compiled these IP addresses. They then created a small, 15-byte UDP packet as a query for the Memcached server, altering the source IP address in the packet to GitHub's. When the Memcached servers received the request, they generated a UDP packet to send back to the request address. As the IP address on the request packet was GitHub's, these packets were directed at GitHub. The generated packets could be 10,000 to 52,000 times larger. While it may seem like we're sitting ducks for DDoS attacks, there are steps we can take. Prevention can be challenging, as blocking could also affect normal traffic. Therefore, mitigation is often a more effective strategy. Many DDoS attacks exploit vulnerabilities in servers. So one of the simplest solutions is to keep your software and hardware updated. Remember the Cloudflare incident we discussed earlier? It was resolved through a software update. And the famous ping of death attack can be prevented with a hardware upgrade. While traditional firewalls are essential, web application firewalls prove to be especially effective in mitigating application layer DOS attacks like HTTP floods and slow lories attacks. They work at the application layer and are capable of identifying and filtering out DDoS traffic. What about those troublesome UDP data packets that spoof the original IP address? Well, ISP filtering can be a useful solution to filter out traffic with spoofed IP addresses. However, the best defense against DDoS attacks often requires a financial investment. Time and expertise don't come cheap, so many companies turn to DDoS traffic cleaning services and CDN services that distribute web page content, thereby spreading out the traffic. DDoS attacks will continue to evolve, but so will our defenses. So, that's it for our deep dive into the world of DDoS attacks.